The Pacific stretched endlessly beneath his aircraft as Admiral Chester W. Nimitz flew toward Pearl Harbor on Christmas Day, 1941. Below, oil still leaked from the shattered battleships of the Pacific Fleet. The Japanese had destroyed or damaged 18 ships, killed 2,400 Americans, and seemingly crippled American naval power. Nimitz was arriving to take command of catastrophe. Yet within 6 months, he would orchestrate victory at Midway. Within 4 years, his fleets would anchor in Tokyo Bay. The soft-spoken Texan would prove that in modern naval warfare, brilliant minds mattered more than big guns. Born landlocked in Fredericksburg, Texas, in 1885, Chester William Nimitz seemed unlikely to become America's greatest admiral. His German immigrant grandfather, a former sea captain, filled young Chester's head with maritime tales. When Nimitz sought West Point appointment but found none available, he settled for Annapolis. It proved destiny. The Naval Academy transformed the frontier boy into a professional officer, graduating 7th of 114 in 1905. Early career assignments revealed exceptional ability beneath modest demeanor. Commanding a destroyer at 22, Nimitz ran aground and faced court-martial. The experience taught him that good officers make mistakes. Great officers learn from them. He pioneered submarine tactics when submarines were considered toys. During World War I, he served as Chief of Staff to the Atlantic Submarine Force Commander, mastering the emerging undersea warfare that would prove crucial decades later. Between wars, Nimitz became the Navy's premier innovator and educator. He established the Navy's first ROTC unit at Berkeley. He commanded the cruiser Augusta with such skill that crew members would seek him out decades later. He studied at the Naval War College, then stayed to teach, developing circular formation tactics that would revolutionize carrier operations. While others fought the last war, Nimitz prepared for the next one. His personal life reflected the same quiet excellence. Married to Catherine Vance Freeman, he raised 4 children with gentle discipline and high expectations. Nimitz neither drank nor swore, preferring classical music and long walks. His idea of relaxation was pitching horseshoes or tinkering with machines. Subordinates initially mistook his mildness for weakness. They learned better quickly. Pearl Harbor made Nimitz's appointment inevitable, yet controversial. President Roosevelt, passing over 28 senior admirals, chose Nimitz to resurrect the Pacific Fleet. "You have my confidence," FDR said simply. Nimitz found Pearl Harbor drowning in defeatism and recrimination. Admiral Husband Kimmel, his predecessor, was broken by blame. The fleet staff was demoralized, the base traumatized, the task seemingly impossible. Nimitz's first decision stunned everyone. He retained Kimmel's staff. "These men are not responsible for Pearl Harbor," he declared. "They know their jobs, they know the fleet, and they have learned bitter lessons." With one stroke, he restored confidence while ensuring continuity. He toured every ship, talked to sailors, assessed honestly. His conclusion: "We've taken a tremendous wallop, but we'll survive to strike back." His strategy emerged from realistic assessment. The battleships were destroyed or damaged, but that forced innovative thinking. Carriers, submarines, and island bases would become his weapons. While MacArthur demanded immediate counteroffensives, Nimitz planned methodically. First, protect the Hawaii-Australia lifeline. Second, conduct hit-and-run carrier raids to boost morale and gather intelligence. Third, prepare for the decisive battle he knew must come. That battle came sooner than expected. In May 1942, codebreakers partially decrypted Japanese plans to attack Midway. Nimitz faced an agonizing decision: risk his precious carriers on incomplete intelligence or let Midway fall. His subordinates were divided. Admiral William "Bull" Halsey, was hospitalized. His replacement, Raymond Spruance, was unknown in carrier operations. Everything could be a trap. Nimitz trusted his instincts and his people. He positioned his outnumbered forces perfectly, gave Spruance tactical command, and waited. June 4, 1942, became the Pacific War's turning point. American dive bombers, arriving at the perfect moment, destroyed 4 Japanese carriers in 5 minutes. Nimitz's calculated risk changed history. His message to the fleet was typically understated. Well done. The Central Pacific Campaign showcased Nimitz's strategic genius. While MacArthur fought through New Guinea's jungles, Nimitz leapfrogged across the Pacific, seizing key islands while bypassing others. Tarawa's bloody lesson taught him to increase preliminary bombardment. Each operation refined techniques: underwater demolition teams, amphibious coordination, mobile logistics bases. The fleet train of supply ships enabled continuous operations thousands of miles from base. Managing personalities proved as challenging as managing fleets. MacArthur, senior in rank but equal in theater command, constantly demanded resources and recognition. Halsey, brilliant but impulsive, required careful handling. Spruance, methodical and careful, needed protection from critics. Marine General Holland, howlin' mad, Smith, fought everyone. Nimitz balanced them all, extracting their best while minimizing conflicts. His leadership style was deceptively simple. Nimitz listened more than talked, delegated authority while retaining responsibility, praised publicly and criticized privately. He lived modestly, working from a simple office, sleeping on a cot during operations. His daily routine never varied: morning walk, full day's work, evening horseshoes, or swimming. The calm center held while storms raged around him. The Marianas Campaign demonstrated evolved capabilities. Taking Saipan, Tinian, and Guam gave B-29 bases to bomb Japan. When Japanese carriers sortied, Spruance's Fifth Fleet destroyed them in the Marianas Turkey Shoot. Over 400 Japanese aircraft fell for 29 American. The Imperial Navy's air arm was finished. Nimitz's patient building had created an unstoppable force. Leyte Gulf, history's largest naval battle, saw Nimitz's forces crush the Imperial Navy's final sortie. Multiple Japanese fleets attempted complex coordinated attacks. Halsey took bait, chasing empty carriers northward. But Nimitz's depth of forces compensated. Escort carriers and destroyers fought desperately against battleships, while other American forces massacred Japanese squadrons. The Imperial Navy ceased to exist as an effective force. The final campaigns, Iwo Jima and Okinawa, extracted terrible costs. Marines suffered devastating casualties taking positions. Kamikazes sank dozens of ships. Critics questioned whether direct invasion was necessary. Nimitz persisted, knowing these bases were essential for invading Japan. His anguish over casualties was private but profound. Every decision weighed lives against strategic necessity. Victory brought little celebration. Nimitz supervised the formal surrender in Tokyo Bay with characteristic dignity, then immediately began humanitarian operations. His occupation policies emphasized reconciliation over revenge. Japanese naval officers, expecting humiliation, found respectful treatment. Nimitz understood that today's enemies could be tomorrow's allies, a wisdom rare among victors. Post-war service included a thankless tour as Chief of Naval Operations, modernizing the Navy while fighting budget cuts. Retirement brought him to Berkeley, where he helped establish the UN. His memoirs were modest, crediting subordinates, minimizing his role. When asked his greatest accomplishment, Nimitz replied, "I survived." Pressed further, he added, "And I helped others survive too." Nimitz's genius lay in synthesis. He melded technology with tradition, aggression with patience, confidence with humility. He turned catastrophe into victory through intellect, character, and trust in subordinates. While MacArthur grabbed headlines, Nimitz won the Pacific War through quiet competence. He proved that democratic societies could produce military leaders matching any autocracies, that brain could defeat brawn, that character mattered more than charisma. The boy from Texas became democracy's greatest admiral by embodying its values: respect for individuals, faith in systems, power through cooperation. His Pacific victory wasn't just military triumph, but validation of American organizational genius. In the age of nuclear weapons he helped usher in, Nimitz's emphasis on intellect over force remains relevant. He showed that the best warriors are those who value peace, that the greatest strength is knowing when not to use it, that true leadership serves others rather than self. These lessons, more than any battle won, constitute his enduring legacy.